Subjects and verbs must agree with one another in number, whether it is a singular or plural. Thus, if a subject is singular, its verb must also be singular. If a subject is plural, its verb must also be plural. She and her friends dash at the fair, and the options are is and are. She and her friends, this is the subject, she and her friends. So this whole part is actually the subject. When the subject of a sentence is composed of two or more nouns or pronouns connected by and, use a plural verb. So in this case, the option will be are. This one. She and her friends. We know that and is connecting both of these, she and her friends. So two or more nouns are there. And if it is connected by and, the option of using a verb will be plural one. So the answer is she and her friends are at the fair. The book or the pen dash in the drawer. Option A is B are. Over here, the book or the pen, again we know the subject is there, the book or the pen, but they are connected by or. So when two or more singular nouns or pronouns are connected by or, nor, use a singular verb. If two or more singular nouns, this book is singular, the pen is singular, and they are connected by or, if it is nor, even then use a singular verb. So the book or the pen is, this one is correct. The book or the pen is in the drawer. The boy or his friends dash every day. Over here, again, we can see that the boy or his friends, this is singular, the boy, and his friends, this is plural, and it is connected by or. In this case, this is again a compound subject, but in this case, it is combination of a singular noun and a plural noun. So when a compound subject contains both a singular and a plural noun or pronoun joined by or nor, the verb should agree with the part of the subject that is nearer the verb. So this one is nearer and it is plural as well. So the boy or his friends, and the options are run or runs every day. So we will put the verb according to the nearer subject, that is plural. So the option would be run. The boy or his friends run every day. His friends or the boy dash every day, run or runs. In this case, it is a compound subject where the first and this compound subject is connected by or, and the first part of the subject is in plural and the second part that is nearer to the verb is singular. So we will choose singular pronoun because the nearer subject is to be followed as far as the verb agreement is concerned. His friends or the boy runs every day. He doesn't like or likes it. We know that doesn't is a contraction of does not. It is a contraction of does not, doesn't, and should be used with a singular subject. Over here, this is a singular, he. Don't is a contraction of do not. So don't is the contraction of do not and should be used only with a plural subject. The exception to this rule appears in the case of first person pronoun, that is I, and second person, that is you. So these are actually the exceptional cases. So as I mentioned, doesn't is a contraction of does not and should be used with a singular subject except I and you. Don't is a contraction of do not and should be used only with a plural subject. And I have mentioned that with these pronouns, the contraction don't should be used for plural. But over here, there is doesn't and the subject over here is he. He doesn't, and then we have to opt like or likes it. He doesn't like it. So this is the correct option. They don't like or likes it. Again, the option will be like, but the subject over here is plural. Over there it was singular. So singular follows doesn't and plural follows don't, and then we have the option that is like. One of the boxes is or open. Don't be misled by a phrase that comes between the subject and the verb. So subject over here is this one. One of the boxes. So as I said, that do not be misled by a phrase that comes between the subject and the verb. The verb agrees with the subject, not with a noun or pronoun in the phrase. So over here, this is the noun, boxes. It is not to be agreed with boxes, this verb. Rather, it is to be agreed with one. One is open. One is open. So the right option will be is. One is open. So the phrase of the boxes, that is having a noun boxes, that has nothing to do with this agreement. So the correct option will be one of the boxes is open. The people who listen to that music is or are few. The people, so over here the subject is the people, and this is the phrase, or this is the part of that sentence. This is a clause that has nothing to do with the agreement. So the people are few. So the option will be are. Why? It is going to agree with the subject people who listen to that music. So music has nothing to do with the agreement. So this part is to be, this clause is not to be considered. The people are few. So this are is the correct option. The team captain as well as his players. So over here, as well as his players, this is a phrase that is having this noun players, that has nothing to do with this agreement of the verb and the subject. And the subject is captain. This is the team captain. This is the subject. So the team captain is or are anxious. So the team captain is a singular person, so we have to put is. The team captain as well as his players is anxious. So this is going to agree with the team captain. The book, including all the chapters in the first section, is or are boring. So over here the subject is the book. Including all the chapters in the first section, this is a phrase that is supporting this subject. The book including all the chapters in the first section. So the book is to agree with the verb. The book is going to be the correct option. The book including all the chapters in the first section is boring. The woman with all the dogs. Over here, the subject is woman. The woman with all the dogs. So this is a phrase having this noun. It has nothing to do with this agreement of subject and verb. So the woman is singular, so it takes a singular singular verb, that is walks. The woman walks down my street. The woman with all the dogs walks down my street. Each of these hot dogs is or are juicy. The words each or each one, either, neither, everyone, everybody, anybody, anyone, nobody, somebody, someone, and no one are singular. So this each is also a singular and require a singular verb. So each of these hot dogs is or are juicy. So each is going to follow is. So each is a singular subject of these hot dogs is not to be considered. So each is, so over here, each is juicy. So this is the subject over here. And of these hot dogs, this is actually the phrase that has nothing to do with the subject verb agreement. So this is to be skipped. Each is juicy. Each of these hot dogs is juicy. So the correct option is. Everybody knows Mr. Jones. So as I mentioned, everybody is a singular subject and it takes a singular verb. So everybody knows. Everybody knows Mr. Jones. Either of the boys is or are correct. So over here, the subject is going to be the either. Either takes is, as I mentioned earlier. Either is correct. And of the boys is a phrase that involves this noun. It has nothing to do with the subject verb agreement. Either of the boys means if there are two boys, both of them is correct. So either of the boys is correct. The news is or are on at 6 o'clock. The news over here, the subject is the news. We know that nouns such as civics, physics, and there are so many other mathematics, dollars, measles, and this one news, if there is the subject having s at the end, and civics, physics, mathematics, measles, dollars, etc. and etc. So nouns such as these or news, the word news, this sort of nouns requires singular verbs. The news is or are on at 6 o'clock. So it is going to be is. The news is on at 6 o'clock. These are singular and they require singular verbs. $5 is or are a lot of money. So the right option will be dollars over here. If it is taken as a money, $5 is a lot of money. So the right option is going to be is. These scissors is or are dull. Nouns such as scissors, tweezers, trousers, and shears, these sort of nouns. So as scissors is also one of them, this is the subject over here. These scissors then is or are dull. So as I said, that nouns such as scissors, tweezers, trousers and shears require plural verbs. There are two parts of these things. Actually, these things involve, all of these involve two or pair of things. So these scissors, then it is going to take plural, that is are. These scissors are dull. Those trousers is or are made of wool. So the right option will be are, according to this rule. The team run or runs during the practice. So collective noun is team. This is the subject over here. This is one of the collective nouns. So collective nouns are words that imply more than one person but that are considered singular and take a verb that is singular, such as group, team, committee, and we have so many other class, and then we have got family. So this sort of words, as I said, these are collective nouns that imply more than one person but that are considered singular and take a singular verb. In this case, team is actually a collective noun, but it is going to be considered as a singular and it is going to take a singular verb. So the team run or runs during the practice, so it is going to be runs, a singular verb. The committee decide or decides how to proceed. So in this case, decides is going to be the correct option, as I earlier mentioned that they are going to take singular verbs. The family has or have a long history. The family has, again it is a singular as mentioned earlier. The crew over here is or are preparing to abandon the ship. So again over here, what will be the right option? The right option will be is. The crew is preparing to abandon the ship. The president, accompanied by his wife, is or are traveling to France. Expressions such as with, together with, or accompanied by, in addition to, or as well do not change number of the subject. So over here the subject is singular, that is the president. So accompanied by his wife, it is not going to change the subject, it will remain singular. The president, accompanied by his wife, is traveling to France. So it is going to be is over here. All of the books, including yours. So all of the books over here, the subject is books. So all of the books including, so this word is not going to change the, rather it is not singular. All of the books are plural. All of the books including yours is or are in that box. The option is going to be are, because the books are going to be plural. It will remain plural if we add including and then we add yours. All of the books including yours are in that box.